Hey crafters, this is Nye here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our Santa candy box. Now, as you can see, I've got my pieces. They are cut out. They're kind of lined up in the order that I want for gluing here. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue, and I've got my bone folder here ready for scoring and making my score lines, I should say, sharp and crisp. So I'm going to take my little decorative side pieces here, and I'm going to put them off to the side. I've also got my acetate layer here. You guys can see it. I think I forgot to take the film off, so let's see if I can use my, yep, you can see it right there. I totally did. So I'm going to grab that protective layer there and just kind of peel that off. And I'm going to put my acetate layer here off to the side. All right, so what we've got here is our main piece that has all of our score lines on it. With our score lines facing up, that's where we're going to kind of start to fold. Now we've got this score line here, but we're not going to fold that one. It's really just there to kind of help us line up this piece as we fold it in on itself. So I'm going to fold here at this second one where these tabs are. And I'm going to fold the tabs as well. I've got little like pieces of glue because I've been crafting all day, and so I've been gluing a lot today too. So, oh, there we go. I'm going to use my score line, my bone folder here for this one, and that looks much better. Okay. All right, and I'm going to fold this one here as well, and then use my bone folder there too. Okay. And then I'm also just folding right along these score lines here. All right. So once you have them all folded, all you can see that I'm doing is I'm kind of going back and folding so that way my score lines are facing the outside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my acetate layer. I was blending into my table there. And I'm going to add glue now right here along the outside of this part where there's the hole in it, okay? And I'm going to grab my acetate layer, which kind of looks a little dirty. I'm just gonna wipe this off here. And that looks really dirty. I don't know what happened to it. That's kind of sus. All right, so I'm just going to place this down right there and just kind of give it a moment to dry and bond, okay? And once you have it there, you'll be good to go. All right. Okay, so the next part that we're going to do is we're going to glue this here, glue these two side pieces. So I'm going to add glue to this piece here. It definitely looks like really dirty there. I wonder if I should use some IPA on it. I better do that before I really seal it off though, huh? All right, I'm gonna have to pause for a second here because I don't know what happened to it, why it looks so sus. All right, let me use some IPA. Whoops. I'm just gonna dab some here on my paper towel just to kind of clean it off here a little because it's like really funky looking. Oh, that kind of looks a little bit better. I think it's from my fingers. You can see all of the glue on my fingers. Oh, here we go. I guess it's a little sidebar while I'm making this video. Okay, that looks much better. I think it's because of my table too. So if you ever like want to clean your acetate there, you can definitely use a little isopropyl alcohol, IPA, to kind of clean it off. I'm now cleaning my table. Okay, so yeah, you can see it. Isopropyl rubbing alcohol, you can use that to kind of clean off your acetate there. And you can see that already looks much, much better. So weird. So much glue, I guess, on my bench top here. All right, so I'm gonna add glue now. To this part, and I kind of had to stop and do that because when I go to take a picture it is probably going to show up and look grody and gross. And I don't want that. You guys don't want to see that either. All right, so I'm pressing this down and I'm pressing this right here. And I'm just holding it and giving it a second to bond and to dry. All right. Oh, I made a mistake. I wanted to leave that part open because I wanted it to be open on the side. Yikes. See, this is what happens. I got so distracted. All right, I'm going to leave this part open. I wanted to leave that part open because that was going to be my opening. It's so distracted by that acetate layer. Okay, we're going to leave it like this. And I'm going to let this go for a second. Okay, that's what happens. Huh. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold this one right here. So this one needs to go just like this, right there. And I'm going to fold these two and glue them so that way they bond to the back of this piece here. And I'm going to press and hold it. Okay, so you can kind of see it right there, just like this. And that looks fantastic now. Yes, it's definitely my table. That's what's happening here. Okay. All right, so before, and this part here is going to kind of be like the open and close so I can get my candy out, okay? But because I had kind of glued it, so I'll have to remember that. But so we didn't want to add glue to that side. We wanted to leave it open because that's going to be the opening part. All right. So we've kind of gotten this part here. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to work on the decorative part that's going to go right here. So the next piece that we're going to glue down is this one, and we're just going to kind of place it right here in the center of where this is. I'm going to add glue to the back of this here, and then just kind of eyeball it right here in the center there. Okay, and now I'm going to glue down the Santa part here. Okay, so I've got my layered Santa pieces. I'm going to grab the Merry Christmas. Let's glue that one down first because it's going to be really delicate with the wording here. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back. Don't go crazy with it. A little bit's going to go a long way here. So I'm barely just touching it. I'm barely even squeezing any of the glue out of this bottle here. It's just kind of coming out on its own. And then I'm going to line it up kind of right here and then just pressing it all down. And then that looks great. And I'm just going to leave it like that for a second and let it all dry. Okay, so now we're going to start here with the back. I just moved everything off there. We're going to add glue and layer the face of the Santa down together here with these pieces. I'm going to hold these here between my fingers to line everything up. And I'm going to do the same thing here with this white layer, just holding everything together and lining everything up, lining the eyes. And then using my hand to line it all up. Okay. Then let's add this back green layer too before we go ahead and do the eyes and the mustache there. And placing that down right there. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. All right, so we're going to add his mustache, or the eyes, I should say. Placing those right there. And then for this one, I kind of went with a darker gray. I think a lighter gray would have been better because it would have been a little bit more with the eyes. You didn't want to use a white because then it would kind of clash here together with the mustache and the beard. And so you kind of want to make sure that it's a slightly different color. And I should have gone with a lighter gray, but I didn't, so I think it looks slightly off, but it's okay for now. I'm going to grab my tweezers here and then just kind of use that to help this one down. And what you can do is you could actually go ahead too and add a little dot here to the eyes if you want to kind of add a little bit more as well. I'm going to add the ball here to his hat. And now we're ready to add this part with the wording down. And we're just adding glue now to the back of this one. And there we go. So this looks awesome. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of glue this one down right about there, so he's right in the center. So we're going to just stick more with the center part here of the Santa, even with his hat, not adding glue all the way up here to the top. I'm going to add a little bit, I think, though, to the ball to make that stick. And then we're going to place this, whoops, right about there in the center. I'm going to move it over just a little bit more. That looks good. And that looks great, okay? And so what we're going to do as well is we're going to add our decorative pieces. So I've got this one here. I'm going to add it to this side, right there. And I'm going to add, they were kind of off the camera there. This one here to this side. You could use the same piece of pattern cardstock as you have with the back here for this one. That's your choice. And I'm going to add this piece here to the back. And just kind of eyeballing where in the center it is. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want it to be off too much to the side. And then we're just going to press that right there in the center. So it adds a little bit to the back. And then we're going to press this one down here with the top. Okay. So what I was trying to say is you could use these pieces here to make it the same as the back here. That's your choice. Okay. And then we're going to press this one right there in the center. And then you can add your candies to the inside here. I would use individually wrapped candies too, because we're using a lot of glue. And then you can close it up. And there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, it's super cute. If you wanted to, you could cut an extra piece for this to add it to the bottom. I didn't do that because I felt it was the bottom, but there you go. And it's super cute. It's fun. This is a fun little like gift box, candy box for the kiddos or for anyone that you want to gift it to. And thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Come show me some pictures and have fun crafting.